Hello, hello. Hello, my friends. Totally random. It's 2:22 p.m. on a Thursday, and I really wanted to jump in, have a conversation with you, share some of what has been coming through for me in my own life, some of what I've been thinking about, some of the things that I have been chatting with some of the incredible women in my own life about. And I just really felt compelled to jump in and have a conversation with you today, all about this topic that has really taken center stage in my own life personally. And one of the things that I've learned is that if there is something that is really being emphasized for me in my personal life, it's probably not just for me, but it's also for you. It's also for my community. There's something that is coming through for me that is available for you to tap into as well, and is available for you to lean into as well. And so that's the conversation I really want to have with you today. It's all on this topic of power. And if you are in my world, first of all, if you're catching this inside the EQ Code Facebook group, give me a hello. Let me know. If you're here live, please drop a hello, drop an emoji. Just let me know that you're catching me live. And I do know that so many of you catch the replay inside the Facebook group. So if you're catching the replay, let me know that as well. Hello, Stacy. It's so nice to see you. Let me know if you're live or if you're catching this on the replay. I never actually do lives in the afternoon. Usually I do them in the morning when my brain feels fresh and I'm super focused. But this was just a really important conversation and really important message that I wanted to share with all of you today. So I'm doing it now. And if you're catching the replay, let me know. And this will also be available probably sometime next week or the week after on our podcast. So if you are catching this a week or two later on the podcast, reach out. Let me know that as well. I love to hear your comments. So there is this conversation that has become really big in my world, and I've been talking about it with a lot of my own friends and my colleagues. I've been talking about it with my clients. I've even been talking about it with my team, and it's this concept of power, and it's this concept of personal power, and what does that really look like, and what makes it so hard for us to fully step into our power. So this conversation has been one that's been unfolding for me probably over the last several weeks, and I have really been intentional lately about paying attention to those concepts, those themes, the whispers of wisdom, as I like to call them, that continue to come through for me again and again and again. And this concept of personal power keeps coming up in so many of my conversations and so many of my relationships. It's become such a big part of my own journey and my personal work that I am working through right now. And so I wanted to bring this conversation to you. And there's such we could have a huge conversation about power. And actually, in a moment, I'm going to tell you about a free masterclass series that I'm going to be doing that does go much deeper into the concept of power. But what I want to talk about today is this idea that I think is so relevant in particular for women, and it's something that I have personally struggled with. It's something that I am intentionally leading myself through at this point in my own journey. And it's this idea that so often I think we have this tendency um, to wait for other people to see our power before we are willing or able to see it ourselves. Okay. One of the things I've noticed in my own life, as well as in the life of so many of the women that I work with, is for many of us, and I think a lot of this is conditioning. I think a lot of this is early childhood programming. I think a lot of this is the good girl narrative that so many of us struggle with, myself included, where we rely on other people to decide that we have power, that we are able to take up space, that we are able to use our voice, that we have something of value to share, that our opinion matters, that our contribution is worth something. I think for so many of us, we are used to externalizing our power, taking our power and actually putting it into the hands of other people. And I think it was just a few days ago, I wrote a post on my Instagram feed that talked about my own journey of really standing beside my power for most of my life. And what I mean by that is rather than stepping fully into my power, rather than allowing my power to become part of my presence, what I did is I externalized it. I took my own power and I brought it outside of myself. And in externalizing it, what I did was I took it and I put it into the hands of other people. And I think when we're younger, when we're children, we're so used to doing this, let's say, with our parents. And I remember this so distinctly, right? I was definitely a little girl who took her power and put it into the hands of her parents. Like my mom's opinion of me could make or break my day. My mom's like validation of my choices could make or break my day. Like there was so much, I gave so much of my power into the opinions of other people. And while a lot of this can be very natural and very normal when we are younger, I think what fails to happen for so many of us as we make that transition into womanhood is we actually don't have a framework for stepping into our power. And I don't really like using the language of taking back our power because I don't think it's actually about taking our power back. I think what it's actually about is actually stepping into it. Like that language feels much more aligned for me, right? It's not about taking our power back from all the places where we have externalized it. I think it's much more about taking that radical responsibility, taking that ownership of really being able to step fully into our power, really being able to own our power. And for so long, the truth is, I was actually afraid of my own power. Like I was really afraid of what it would mean to feel so powerful that I wasn't afraid of what other people would think, other people's opinions of me, what other people would say. Like there was something about that. And if I was really honest with myself, is I was actually afraid of my own power. And so it was actually easier for me and it felt less vulnerable to externalize it, to simply stand beside my power and actually just place it into the hands of other people. And true to patterning, what ended up happening for me is, once I got married and, I've been with my partner now for 15, I always lose count, 15 or 16 years, 15 years, I think, married 14 years this fall. And once I got married, I basically, the power that I had externalized and placed into the hands of my parents, I ended up placing into the hands of my partner. Like I externalized my power to him and he's not the type of guy like he didn't want it. Like he's not controlling. Like he did not want to hold my personal power. I mean, he had his own personal power to hold on to and to manage and to lead himself through. He had no interest in holding my personal power. And yet I was in this pattern of consistently externalizing my power and handing it over to other people. Why? Because I was actually afraid of fully stepping into it. I was actually afraid to see myself in my power. I was actually afraid to see myself in the fullness of my potency. I was actually really afraid to see myself as possibly magnetic. Like I was afraid to see myself with those traits, those adjectives. And so I externalized my power once again as an adult, right? In my 30s, I externalized my power and consistently was trying to hand it over to my partner. and it eventually became my colleagues, and it eventually became my friends. But this externalization of power is so common, is so common. And then we get stuck in this narrative, or we get stuck in this pattern where we feel powerless, right? We get stuck in this narrative where we feel powerless. And what we've done is we have actually contributed to this entire dynamic by taking our power, externalizing it, being afraid to hold it, feeling like we're not enough to hold our own power, and putting it into the hands, the opinions, the thoughts, the feelings, the actions, the choices, the behaviors of other people. And then we wait for people to see our power. We wait for people to see how powerful we truly are. And we wait and we wait and we wait and we keep waiting. We keep waiting, right? I wonder if any of this resonates for you. I wonder if any of this touches something inside of you. If you have had this experience of waiting to be seen, waiting to be noticed, waiting for your voice to be heard, waiting for your message to matter, waiting for your mission to become important. So here's what I've learned, and here's why I really wanted to jump in today and have this conversation with you is one of the most profound truths that I am leading myself through at this stage of my own journey as a woman is really leading myself through this idea that no one will see my power unless and until I do. No one. And it's no one's job to see my power unless and until I do. And no one will see my power if I can't see it. This is the thing, ladies. Like this is the missing piece of the puzzle for me. This has become the missing piece of the puzzle for so many of the women that I work with, is that we've moved through life waiting for other people to see our power. We've moved through life externalizing our power. We've moved through life literally standing beside our power rather than stepping fully into it, rather than leaning right into it. And then the other piece, once we step into our power, is we need to learn to hold it. And that's a whole other conversation that I can't wait to have with you. I can't wait to have that conversation with you. And this has become so potent in my world. And I've become so excited about this particular message around personal power that I've developed an entire 3-day masterclass dedicated to this topic. So, and it's free for a limited time. So if you're catching this inside of the EQ Code Facebook group, if you're catching this live, we have not yet released registration. We haven't opened it yet for this masterclass. And I was going to wait until after we actually had a link. So I could just send you to the link. You could register, you could grab a spot. But I was so excited about this conversation that I wanted to jump in and have it right now. So I have preemptively jumped in to have this conversation, but as soon as my team has that registration link ready, I will come back. I will drop it here below this video so that you can find it here. We'll also post some gorgeous graphics. We've got incredible branding all ready to go for this brand new masterclass. This brand new masterclass is for the woman who desires to not only step fully into her power, it is also for the woman who desires and knows that she needs to learn how to hold her power. Because those are two different frequencies, okay? There is a frequency to stepping into your power. There is an emotional and energetic charge that is required in order for you to step fully into your power. Then there is an entirely different emotional and energetic charge that's required for you to then hold your power. And then the final piece is of all of this is really fully embodying the frequency of personal power through your entire life. Through your entire life. I have so much to say, so much to teach you, so much to share with you with regards to really accessing what I am calling real power, not externalized power, not circumstantial power, but real power. If real power is something that you desire, if real power is something that you want to step into, you want to hold on to, and you want to fully embody, you are going to love this brand new 3-day masterclass. If you are catching this on the podcast, we've already opened registration. The link will be in the show notes. You are good to go. If you are an eager beaver and you are catching this inside the EQ Code Facebook group and we haven't quite dropped the link yet, just stay tuned. It will be dropping either later today or first thing tomorrow. I'll make sure that you get access to it. We are going to open registration for this completely free for a limited time. For a limited time, this masterclass will be available for you completely free. So as soon as we do drop the link, please make sure that you grab a spot. It starts in like a week and a half. Like I wanted to move on this very, very quickly. My team was like, "Are you sure you're ready to teach in like a week and a half this content?" Yeah, I am so ready to take you through this transformation with me. So it starts on June 28th. It's coming up pretty soon, a week and a half, June 28th. It runs for 3 days. You will have access to the replays again for a limited time. This masterclass is going to be remastered and sold as a paid program. So if you want to access it for free while it is available for free, then you're going to want to make sure that you register as soon as we open that link up. The second thing is we are also going to give you an opportunity to be able to have lifetime access to this masterclass, lifetime access to the replays on this masterclass free of charge. And so when you register for it, you're going to get instructions on exactly what you need to do in order to keep lifetime access to this masterclass free of charge. Okay. So all of that will be available to you once you register. You'll get an email. You'll get all the details. I was so excited. I couldn't help but jump in and talk to you all about this. And this is the concept that really led me to create this masterclass for me and for you. It's the idea that no one will see our power until we do. No one will see our power, nor is it their responsibility to see our power until we do. And in this 3-day masterclass experience, I am going to walk you through exactly what needs to happen on an emotional, and energetic level for you to step into, hold on to, and fully embody real power. All right, my friends, I am so excited for it. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I will see you again soon. Bye.